Hi there, I'm going to show you how to use a Hana Baby Wrap with a newborn. So first of all, if you take your wrap and it's got a marker in the middle, which is this little picture, which will show you where the centre of the wrap is. Hold this in your tummy and stretch the top edge out and wrap it around your waist, a bit like wrapping a towel around yourself. Pull the one out behind, so it's at arm's length, then bring it behind your elbow and up over your shoulder. Bring the fabric all up onto your shoulder. This makes a diagonal line over your back. Do exactly the same with the other side. So you're going to stretch it out, bring it around your waist, and then bring it behind your elbow and over your shoulder. So you've got a cross on your back and two pieces over the front. Bring them up onto your shoulders so they're a bit more manageable. Take hold of both of these and put them through the middle, like this. So you've got your middle band with these on the inside. If this has gone slightly off centre, move it back to the middle again. Then you're going to gather this together at the top, like this, and slide all the slack right round to the back, so all the loose stuff's behind. And take hold of this one bit at a time and just gently put it up and forwards to tighten it up. Pull that down and that one down, so now this is nice and tight around here. Take hold of the two pieces in the opposite hand, so you're crossing them over. Cross the two bits of fabric round and pull it around behind to tie behind your back. Now this is a short Hana Baby wrap, so if you've got a longer one, you may decide you're going to bring it round to the front and tie it in front. It's totally up to you. I've just done that in a normal double knot behind my back. But I'm now going to start taking hold of the fabric by the knot, like that, and I'm going to slide my hands around, bringing all the slack fabric into the front. So all the loose fabric is in here, and this bit and the bit behind me is nice and tight. If you take your hands and put them in here, just give a little pull, that shows how much space you've got. So you want to have just enough space to bring it around your baby, so you don't want it pulling out to here, but you also don't really want it pulling out to there. You want to have just enough room that you can fit your baby in, nice and snug. Okay. Notice which one's closest to your body. So for me it's this one here. This is the one I'm going to put around my baby first. Make a little space in the middle for holding your baby. Now you can go and get your baby. Right, here's my newborn doll. So most newborns will tuck their legs up so their knees are above their bottom and their knees no wider than hip width. And generally until about the first 3 to 4 months they'll keep their knees no wider than hip width, and after that they'll start to wrap them around you. If you're not sure what your baby is wanting to do, tuck them in like this to begin with, and they can wriggle them wider if they want to. But until they're a bit older, they may not be able to bring them back in if they're uncomfortable. So it's better to start them to a bit narrower, and then your baby wriggle them wider than it is to put them too wide and the baby can't bring them back in. So hold your baby with its head resting on your upper chest, so you can kiss the top of their head comfortably and centrally to you. Hold them with the opposite hand to the fabric you're going to use first. So this one was the one I was going to use first. So hold them with the opposite hand and take this piece of fabric and put your whole wrist through it. The reason for using a wrist is it's a lot stronger than using your hand, so it's a bit easier to pull. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the baby still and the fabric is going to do the work. So we're going to stretch the fabric down and just gently ease the baby's foot through and hook that into their knee pit. So it's just supporting them in exactly the same position they've been in. Hold your baby with the other hand and put your hand through this piece of fabric here. So stretch that down, bring your baby's foot through and let that go into their knee pit. Now if you need to, adjust your baby into an upright position and just check they've got their knees nicely tucked in. Okay, go back to the first one you brought around your baby, and if you find the inside seam here, stretch that fabric around over your baby's bottom to the opposite side, so it's going right round to the other knee pit, across their back, and there, your baby's face. Okay, and find the other seam on the opposite side and do exactly the same thing there, so bring it over their back and right over their bottom, so it's going from one knee pit to the other. So each piece of fabric is going from one knee pit to the other here. Most important thing with any carrier is, can my baby breathe? So check your baby has got clear airways and you can see their face. You can bring this away a little bit like this. Second most important thing is my baby held as tight as a cuddle in arms? The reason for this is if the baby is held more loosely, there is a risk that their head could go down onto their chest, which could restrict their airways. So the way to check whether they're tight enough is, rest your hand on your baby's head and just very gently lean forward, and their body shouldn't pull away from your body. Okay, so we're happy that our baby can breathe and that they're not going to restrict their airways by slumping down. So next thing we're going to do is going to reach underneath and find this band here with a little label on it. Bring it over one foot and then over the other. Just gently ease that up over your baby's back, up to the nape of their neck. You should end up with this piece crossing just around the nape of their neck and this piece ending up there too. Okay, now you can leave the carrier as it is, or there are a few tweaks you can do to make it a bit more comfortable for you and your baby. So this piece here is a little bit close to the baby's nose. So what I can do is I can reach inside and take hold of this inside seam and bring that underneath and swap it with the outside one. So the inside seam becomes the outside one. And what that does is it creates a nice straight line here, which means there's no way that fabric's going across towards my baby's nose. So I know that it's nice and clear around there. You can do exactly the same on the other side, or you can decide to just support your baby's head with the fabric over the back of their head. You must always keep the front open, but you can put this over the back to keep their head supported. If you decide you want to turn this over on the other side, so we're going to slide our hand underneath, take hold of the fabric and bring it out. Bring the top edge back. You may decide you want to support your baby's head a little bit more. So you take a muslin, you roll it up to a sort of sausage shape. You can very gently roll that into the top edge there, and that gives a little cushion support for their head, particularly when they haven't got head control. Support it there. So that's your baby there. Have a little check just to make sure their knees are still above their bottom and hip width apart. If you need to, take hold of your baby's pelvis and just gently tilt the knees up and bring the bottom down very, very gently. On the back, if you want to, you can spread these out to make them a little bit more comfortable for yourself. Spread that around here and this one around there, and these bits around the top. If you don't like having these fully down your shoulders, you can bring this out and fold it back up again. Do the same on that side. Or if you want to, you can spread them really far down. It's totally up to you as to what feels more comfortable. And that's basically it. Now to take your baby out, you just reverse what you did before. So we're going to unturn the shoulders and take the muslin out of here. Then going to bring this piece back down over our baby's back and bottom and take it over their legs. And slide your hand in here to bring the fabric back round to their knee pit, and do the same on the other side. Now you can either lift your baby out from this position like that, or particularly if they're asleep and you don't want to wake them up, you can bring this back round over one foot and back round over the other. Then you can tuck your baby down. And what's really nice about a stretchy wrap like this is that you can leave it on all the time. So taking your baby out for change or feed or whatever, you can then put them back in without having to adjust it or retighten it or retie it. So you put this on first thing in the day and you can just leave it on all day. So it's now ready to put my baby back in again with this one going around them first.